Deja, what a week. Oh my goodness. Whew.
It's been a lot.
A lot, but we got a lot of great content for you. Oh man. So LeBron James might be going from player to owner. Okay, we got a new feature, drip or drop.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That sounds like a good one, right? Dwyane Wade gets a gift that leaves him speechless. And why is Snoop flying high? We will let you know. You know what time it is. Time to run it. Yes, sir. It's your favorite show that recaps everything that's happening in sports and entertainment. I'm Aladdin the Prince. Got the beautiful, talented Deja Perez with me. And woo-wee! What a week.
Let's get started because it's much to talk about.
I know, right? It's wow. So much to unpack. All right, let's start off with this story. So LeBron James talks about possibly becoming a owner for the WNBA. All right. It's a lot to unpack with this story, Deja. So you got to help me out with it.
Yeah, and so in fairness, LeBron is actually trying to put together a group of people to help purchase the WNBA's Atlanta Dream, right? So circle back to over the summer with the BLM protests and things like that.
Right.
One of the co-owners of the WNBA's Atlanta Dream is the former Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right.
I believe it's Loeffler.
Okay. So she sent a letter to the commissioner saying that racism has no place in the U.S., but the Black Lives Matter political movement does not align with the league or the team, even though the majority of your players are Black.
Correct. And when you just to point out for people that are watching, you said former because she just lost to.
It was historic. Okay, so the day of everything happening at the Capitol, earlier, this news kind of got usurped by the stuff that happened at the Capitol, but history was made because Democrat Raphael Warnock became Georgia's first Black senator. He's a Democrat, and the reason why this is super huge is because the first time they've actually flipped the state. So Georgia is now blue, basically. They've got blue representation.
Right.
And it's huge.
Yeah. So she made these comments and it made her players feel some type of way.
Rightfully so. They rightfully should have felt a way. Like at the end of the day, you don't represent us, but we play for you.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool at all. So the king being the king steps in and sent out a tweet. And this is what it said. Wow.
Huge.
So.
And I believe when LeBron decides he wants to do something and make an impact and affect change, he's going to do it.
Oh, and he definitely was going to. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to speak out in this magnitude, but he's been waving the flag and been one of the biggest
100%
as far as BLM and
equality. And
I mean, for the biggest NBA figure to now possibly be a co-owner for the WNBA. I mean, this could really change the spectrum of, just the marketing and a lot of things that can happen for the WNBA.
And here's the thing, because I am a huge fan of the WNBA. I think, and this is going to probably get me a lot of shade, but I think from a technical standpoint, I think these women ball harder because it's not about the showmanship. It's not about the, they ball hard, really hard.
I'm going to share an opinion with you, and I would love to know, your thoughts. I think, to make the WNBA even more exciting, because like you said, they do play very hard.
They do.
I think they need to lower the rim so the women can dunk.
I'd actually be here for that.
That is one of the biggest things that draws and brings that oomph to the NBA is the slam dunks. And I think if women are able to dunk, I think that would elevate the WNBA to another level. I've never shared this idea with anybody. So anybody that's watching right now, WNBA, please listen to me.
That's actually pretty good. The other thing The other thing that I think would be really dope about it is because, there's been a huge pay discrepancy from the NBA to the WNBA. And I hope that if LeBron is in fact able to take charge and get this group together to purchase the Atlanta Dream, that maybe we can do something to offset the scale of the discrepancy, because these women work hard, they play hard, and they should be paid commensurate with what, they are, with the men, you know what I mean? And that's been that way for as long as the WNBA has been around. You know what I mean? They've been underpaid, severely underpaid. You know what I mean? And I think that now is the time, with everything that's going on, like, let's pay these women.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
Wow. Can you imagine playing in the NBA and being a co-owner in the WNBA?
I don't see the conflict.
Hey, no conflict. Hey, shout out our guy. We talked about Victor Oladipo owning the team. Overseas. So
we're starting a trend.
Hey, players and owners at the same time.
Needs to be.
All right, Deja, let's play a new game, start a new feature called Drip or Drop.
Okay,
so how it's going to work, right? We're going to show you a photo of somebody that wore something, and you decide whether it's drip, it's fly, or they drop the ball.
Okay.
All right, let's start off with your girl, Sierra, Cece, and the kids.
Cece and the kids do no wrong in my book. And I think them repping Papa Bear Russ and the Seahawks, super cute.
Nice.
Total drip.
Okay, let me show you this picture of our guy who's now in Houston. We miss you. John Wall.
It's kind of basic. It's not bad. It's not bad. So you're not loving it? Is that the vibe I'm getting?
I'm gonna give it a drip. I think it's a drip.
I think it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not a drop.
Okay, so we both drip. We both dripping on.
It's drip.
Okay, that. All right, here we go. I got a good one for you. Here's Montrezl Harrell. Look at this one.
It's.
You see the pants? The purple pants?
It's a lot. So first of all,
what's going on with this outfit here?
It's a lot because they're not just purple. They're purple and they look a little crushed velvety, which they're not. They're just like scrunched. And then there's I kind of want to be tiger print, and yet what was the acid wash or something? Tie-dye? At the same time on the sweatshirt. Right. And I will say the only thing that wasn't a drop about this entire outfit is his box of Allen Iverson.
Hey, yo, I don't know if he wanted to play in the game, but he definitely had the AIs. I think he might have had the questions. I think he.
Well, he's endorsed. That's an endorsement deal for him, so you better represent.
Very nice. Okay, so we're gonna give this a drop
all day long.
Yeah, I definitely think he dropped the ball on this one. All right, we got to round it up with my guy, Mr. Fashion-centric himself, Dwyane Wade. Let's look at this one. So him and Zaire were going about back and forth on Instagram about this coat. I think it's a drop for me. D-Wade's my guy, but I'm not rocking this coat.
I'm not all the way mad at the coat.
So you giving it a drip? Is that drip for you?
I mean, it kind of goes against my whole principle because he's normally dropped. But yes, I do believe this time it might be drip.
All right, all good, man. Well, that's what's up, man. But speaking of Dwyane Wade, I just found out that we have the same birthday, which makes me love him even more. January 17th, Team Capricorn.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, for his birthday, he got a gift that left him speechless. You got to check out this video. Wow. All right. What type of Mercedes is that?
So that is a 1988 Mercedes-Benz Convertible, and it is fresh to death. I will say the only thing that I peeped that looked like it probably needs a little love is that center console door. Looks like someone's elbow's been sticking in it. But other than that, considering the car is from 1988, flawless.
Oh, man. And pristine. pristine condition too, man.
Absolutely. And wifey Gabrielle Union copped that for him a little bit early. Not mad at that though.
Not mad at all. I mean, obviously this has definitely been something on his want list for a very, very long time.
Because that is not something that you randomly get someone. So I'm wondering if that was something like as a kid, he felt like that was a true status, symbol when he, you figure he was probably 10, 11 years old when that car came out. You know what I mean? Right. I'm thinking so.
Hey man, we gotta try to figure out what's the backstory with this wonderful gift that he's got. But
come on the show and tell us.
Hey, we're gonna have to holler at his people, see what we can make it happen. Hey, but who did make it happen? Who? Certain teams in the NFL that are in, and certain teams that didn't make it, and now they out of there.
Yes. Speaking of new features, we're gonna call this in and out.
Let's go.
All right, so in would be the Bills. Out of there would be the Colts.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
Out of there. In would be the Rams, and out of there would be the Seahawks.
Wow. So the outfits that Sierra and the kids had, it didn't help them.
It didn't help them. But he was loved when he got home, and that matters.
Hey, that's what matters most.
All right. So in are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unfortunately, my Washington football team is.
Listen, man. It was just a hard year for everybody in the NFC East. And sad to say, it didn't matter who went from our division. We weren't getting out the first round. I think I knew that. There was a lot of hopefuls that felt that the Washington football team had a chance against Tom Brady, but nah. And it's funny because Chase Young learned a very valuable lesson. Don't call for the GOAT. Don't say I want time. That's one guy you probably should not get amped up before the game. But you know what? Chase had an amazing season. So absolutely. They put points on the board. So honestly, I did better than a lot of people thought they would have against Tom and that Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. It was a very good game, very entertaining. I think some things went in their favor. I think the fact that Alex Smith was out and they didn't have tape on the quarterback, Heineke, I believe it's how you pronounce his name, but they didn't have tape on him. And he's been in Ron Rivera's system for a very long time. He was in Carolina with him, and he backed up Cam Newton, so he knew the play. Yeah. So he's a little bit of a wild card. Yeah, for sure. It definitely made for a great game. Very, very entertaining way to end the season. But to the entire NFC least is what I had to call us this year, because we were the worst division in every aspect. We're gonna come back bigger and stronger next. All right, so I got a few more. The Ravens are in, the Titans are out. Lamar Jackson's first playoff win. Well deserved. The Saints are in, the Bears are out. Wow. Well, we knew that. I mean, my man Drew Brees is back, and they looking like they could possibly get to the Super Bowl. And lastly, the Browns are in, and the Steelers are out of there. Wow. Humongous. So it's interesting because next week, of course, we're into the divisional round, and that Saturday games leaves us with the Rams taking on the Packers. Okay. And the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, taking on the Buffalo Bills. And I'm curious who you got. Oh, all right. So my prediction. And then we'll get into Sundays. Yeah. I'm going to pick Packers, and I'm going to say Ravens. Okay. So I am going to say the Rams because I think people sleep on Jared Goff. That's just my opinion. The defense is playing pretty well. That's me. Now, I am torn between these Ravens and these Bills, and let me tell you why. Because I think the Bills are so hungry because it's been so long, and they're a little bit of the underdog. And this is a Cinderella story. They have not been to the playoffs since 1995. So I feel like my gut is telling me this is a little bit of a Cinderella story, and I feel like they could have the momentum to take it. That's just fingers crossed. Okay. All right. So we opposite on this one. I like it. 100%. All right. So Sunday, we got the Browns taking on the Chiefs,
And we have the Buccaneers taking on the Saints. Who you got?
I'm gonna let you go first. You go first on this.
Okay. So first things first, I'm gonna say don't sleep on Tom Brady, and I think the Buccaneers might take the Saints. I get Drew Brees, but he is the GOAT Tom Brady. But where I struggle is the Browns and the Chiefs. And let me tell you why. Because if the Browns play anything like they did when they took on Pittsburgh, it's going to be game over. But the ace in the hole is Patrick Mahomes and these Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce, like they are Super Bowl, they're the defending champs, let's be clear, right? So I'm thinking it's the Chiefs, but I mean, low key, I'd really like it to be the Browns, but I think it's going to be the Chiefs.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you, and I think you predicted that. You said that's going to be the game of the week next week, right?
I think so.
Okay, I definitely will agree with you on that. I definitely think it's the Chiefs. I think they have too many weapons. It's just
offense, defense. It doesn't matter. They got you.
They definitely have it. They had the bye week, so I know they're going to get a couple of players back that were injured.
They're refreshed. They're ready.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough match.
And they've already won.
Wow. So Saints, Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. This is like both of their, I ain't going to say, and Tom Brady might have another season or two left, but I think this might be Drew Brees' last season. I think this is his last hurrah.
He's had a rough year.
They beat them twice in the previous matchups this year.
The Saints?
I think the Bucks. I think if they can fire off first, I think Tom Brady. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, so I'm gonna have to go with Tom Brady, and I'm gonna say they're going to win by 1.
Ooh, I do think it's going to be a close game. I think that Tom Brady has a super competitive streak in him, and there is something in his soul that will not allow him to let you beat him 3 times in a row. We'll see. But I just get that's the vibe I get.
I think we're in for a treat this weekend. NFL is going to be on fire. And speaking of fire, who's flying high? Your man Snoop. And he's not flying high like you would think. Listen, my man Snoop, he just gets all types of check. But we're going to show you why we say Snoop is flying high. Run that. Yo,
bruh.
Snoop has literally taken over the sports world. First commentating, now wrestling.
And honestly, I'm at the point where I need Snoop to teach a class on hustling because he stays getting a bag. And that was off the AEW Dynamite that happened. I want to say it was Tuesday night. And so it kind of got lost in the shuffle of the news cycle because of everything that ended up happening at the Capitol. Right. And so that kind of flew under a lot of people's radar, and they missed Snoop jumping off like cowabunga. Can we just talk about how he landed like this? He made it very sure.
Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you why that was very impressive, right? Snoop is not a little guy.
No,
Snoop is like 6'7". Yeah, like Snoop is tall as hell. So for him to even be able to get on the top rope,
but baby, you see he was shaking. He was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Yo, he was like, ah! But he did it though. Hey,
Sure will.
Hey, and he looked like he's having so much fun doing it all.
He does. He honestly, I know we were talking the other day and we were joking like, Snoop, I think it's to the point where if you ask Snoop to do anything before his manager gets the like, hey Snoop, I think I have sign me up.
Possible, I'll take it. Wait, but what about I'll take it? Like there's no question. Like Snoop is the guy that literally is going to do any and everything. He just has that mindset of I'm going to do this, and this is going to lead to another opportunity.
And honestly, like you said, I think he's just out here living his best life and enjoying every single moment of it. And it's honestly inspirational.
Yo, I got to see this clip one more time. Hold on. Right there, man. Let's see Snoop flying off the top rope again.
and landing like this. Like, please be clear. Do you see how he made sure his hind parts were arched up?
Oh,
like, I don't think
he was so fresh too. Oh man. That was a great way to end the show. Deja, we will see you next week. We're going to see who going to win these in and outs. And we'll see you next week on Running That Back. Until then, run it.